Despite the fact the Pistons were the worst team in the NBA in 2023, the only team to win less than 20 games, I actually watched a decent amount of their games because I like a lot of their young players, and one that always stood out to me was Jaden Ivey. To say he was electric would be an understatement. He plays the game like the embodiment of a Michael Irvin Twitter video. But he's more than just a fun watch. He has a ton of potential, which is what I want to talk about in this video. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I would really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 2024 NBA season. Thank you guys for 4,000 subscribers. Means a lot to me. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about Jaden Ivey. Now, when you look at the numbers from an efficiency standpoint with Ivey, they aren't great to say the least in his rookie season. His 52.7 true shooting percentage was in the 19th percentile. His 51.8 rim percentage was in the 10th percentile. His 37.6 non-rim 2-point percentage was in the 24th percentile. His 34.3 3-point percentage was in the 39th percentile. However, he was a rookie, and that should be factored in, and I don't think it's as much of a worry as the numbers may suggest. It's really common for rookies to struggle with their efficiency, especially when they have a usage rate of at least 25, the way Ivey did. Anthony Edwards had similar levels of efficiency as a rookie. Now, I'm not saying that Ivey is the next Anthony Edwards, because while Ivey has a ton of unteachable gifts in his own right, Edwards is just an outlier level talent who showed outlier progression over his 3 NBA seasons. What I am saying is that Ivey has a ton of room to grow and improve, and his efficiency as a rookie shouldn't be viewed as a red flag even if it was bad. I also look at Ivey's volume, and it's very encouraging to me. His 4.8 free throw attempts were in the 91st percentile, which is very encouraging for a rookie. This rookie class was honestly very good at drawing fouls in general. His rim volume was in the 86th percentile. His 2-point non-rim attempt volume was in the 83rd percentile. His 3-point volume was in the 79th percentile. When you combine that with his efficiency numbers, it's clear that he was getting a ton of opportunity on a really bad team, which is common for rookies drafted in the top 5. But numbers only tell you so much. The tape is important as well. In fact, I would argue tape is even more important because they show the context of numbers. And the tape shows me that Ivey has a ton of upside. Ivey has athleticism you just can't teach. You can't teach his burst and quickness. You can't teach his speed. He's one of the 5 fastest players in the NBA with and without the basketball in his hands. You can't teach his vertical explosion. You can't teach his flexibility and body control. He showed many times on tape that it's hard to contain him in one-on-one situations because of how gifted he is athletically, and it led to a ton of fun plays. But it's about more than just athleticism with Ivey. He has shown skill as well. His handle is really solid. It definitely could get tighter and be more consistent. But I wouldn't say he has a bad handle. And even then, he can make up for the loose handle at times with just being a great athlete. I think the handle was at a point where he reaches a threshold where he can create offense for himself. He certainly can also play off the ball. He's capable as a shooter with room to grow and improve. I think he could tweak the form a little bit, but there's nothing glaringly wrong about his form. And I do think that a lot of his shooting numbers speak more to shot selection, which we'll talk about soon. And I do think, regardless of the shot selection and the numbers, he does have a ton of potential to be, at the very least, a capable enough shooter to expand an offensive game plan. He's talented as a slasher with potential to be a monster rim threat. he's good at drawing fouls, and in terms of playmaking, he has good vision, he makes good reads, he has the gravity as a scorer to expand an offense. Ivey is very versatile, and that is what makes him so valuable to me because he can play on the ball, he can handle some primary reps. Even if I don't think he's a true point guard or primary creator, I think he works best at that 2-guard spot next to a primary because he can play off the ball. He excels off cuts, off movement shooting, and connecting playmaking. And like I mentioned in my first mock draft for 2024, Ivey fits the mold of role versatile and lineup flexible prospects the Pistons are trying to build around, like Cade, Asar, and Duren. But Ivey isn't without flaws as a player, and to put it bluntly, he's out of control. He plays with a ton of energy and a high motor, which is definitely a good thing, but it can also be a double-edged sword, because he plays with so much energy, and he plays with so much speed, and plays with this high motor. It can lead to him being out of control, lead him into bad shots and turnovers. He plays the game at 100 miles an hour. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say he's the basketball embodiment of a Michael Irvin Twitter video. And that can be a positive in terms of playing at a fast pace in transition, being a contagious energy guy because you have teammates and they see how much effort you're giving and how much that you are trying to win, and it can inspire them. But it can also be a negative because of how reckless that style of play can be. His style of play is one that is just as frustrating as it is fun to watch. One play, he's zooming down the court for a crazy finish in transition. The next play, he's charging head down trying to finish over 3 defenders. And while you can live with those plays on a bad team, the Pistons are eventually trying to get good, and Ivey will have to learn to play more in control as the team gets better. But at the same time, I do have a ton of optimism that he will get better in this area. His high energy style of play comes from wanting to help a team win, not out of selfishness. I don't think he's doing this on purpose to hurt the team. He's young and growing as a player. The more reps he gets, the more in control he will become. And I think having Cade back for a full season will help in this area as well because Cade can control pace of an offense. Ivey's reckless nature as a player is a flaw. But at the same time, it's better that a player's flaw is a product of having a high motor than it is to have a flaw that's a product of a bad motor. I think this flaw is fixable with more reps. I think his high motor and energy can be honed into a major positive. And for a young player to have your biggest flaw be one that's fixable and a byproduct of a mostly positive intangible is very encouraging. I think Ivey is going to be a really good NBA player for a very long time. He has intangibles and traits you just can't teach. He has role versatility and lineup flexibility that make him easy to play with in theory, especially with proper development. He has the motor and energy to be great and contribute to winning basketball. He has the skill to be a really good player. I see Ivey as a player whose ideal role is similar to Jaylen Brown. Now, not the same player because Jaylen is a better shooter and Ivey is a better playmaker. But I look at both of them and see a guy who can play on and off the ball, but you prefer him playing off of a star, which Cade hopefully is in the same way Tatum is for Brown. I think Ivey could be a 23 to 25 point per game, 4 to 5 rebound per game, 5+ assists per game player. I think he will thrive playing off of Cade this upcoming season. I think he's going to form a 3-headed monster with Asar and Duren as a fast break finishing trio. I think we could be talking about the most athletic wing duo in basketball with Ivey and Asar. Now, basically all the young guys have to improve as shooters to reach contending levels in a few years, the way the Pistons want to. But I look at their young core pieces and I see the motor and wiring to get better and improve on flaws. And I think Ivey could be a key contributor on this Pistons team for a very long time as they look to return to that powerhouse status in the East that they were in years past. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways that can help me out in the YouTube algorithm and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 2024 NBA season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. I also want to thank you guys for 4,000 subscribers. This is something that, every step of the way, it's been an accomplishment from 1K, 2K, 3K, and now 4K, and moving forward 5K, 6K, 7K, 8K, 9K, and beyond. But, when I started this channel, I really didn't have expectations. It was going to be a quote-unquote second channel to the main channel that had nearly 5,000 subscribers. And I just loved what I was doing with this channel, and I decided to bet on myself being able to build up another platform, and clearly it's paid off. I found way more success in way less time on this channel, and a lot of that has to do with you guys and the support you guys have shown for my content, and I really appreciate that. I can't thank you guys enough for that. But also, let me know what you think about Jaden Ivey in the comment section below. Thank you guys for 4,000 subscribers. Can't wait to see what we do this upcoming season. Season's around the corner. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.